Continuing with Emerson's nature, we're up to Idealism, section 6. Thus is the unspeakable but intelligible and practicable meaning of the world conveyed to man, the immortal pupil, in every objective sense. To this one end of discipline, all parts of nature conspire. A noble doubt perpetually suggests itself, whether this end be not the final cause of the universe, and whether nature outwardly exists. It is a sufficient account of the appearance we call the world that God will teach a human mind, and so makes it a receiver of a certain number of congruent sensations, which we call sun and moon, man and woman, house and trade. In my utter impotence to test the authenticity of the report of my senses, I know whether the impressions they make on me correspond with outlying objects. What difference does it make whether Orion is up there in heaven or some god paints the image in the firmament of my soul? The relations of parts and the end of the whole remaining the same, what is the difference? Whether land or sea interact, the worlds revolve and intermingle without number or end, deep yawning or under deep, and galaxy balancing galaxy throughout the absolute space, or whether relations of time and space, the same appearance, and are inscribed in the constant faith of man, whether nature enjoys substantial existence without, or is only in the apocalypse of the mind. It is alike useful and alike venerable to me. Be it what it may, it is ideal to me so long as I cannot try to the accuracy of my senses. Doing something like phenomenology there, right? Pre-Husserlian, but I think Husserl might have agreed with that, maybe, at least to some extent, in Ideas of the Mind. The frivolous make themselves merry with the ideal theory, and if its consequences were burlesque, as if it were affecting the stability of nature, it surely does not. God never jests with us, and will not compromise in its procession. Any distrust of the permanence of laws would paralyze the faculties of man. Their permanence is sacredly respected, and his faith therein is perfect. The wheels and springs of man are all set to the hypothesis of the permanence of nature. We are not built like a ship to be tossed, but like a house to stand. It is a natural consequence of this structure that so long as the active powers predominate over the reflective, we resist with indignation any hint that nature is more short-lived or mutable than spirit. The broker, the wheelwright, the carpenter, the tollman are much displeased at the intimation. But whilst we acquiesce entirely in the permanence of natural laws, the question of the absolute existence of nature still remains open. It is the uniform effect of culture on the human mind, not to shake our faith in the stability of a particular phenomenon, as of heat, water, azote, but to lead us to regard nature as phenomenon, not as substance, to attribute necessary existence to spirit, to esteem nature as an accident and an effect. To the senses and the unrenewed understanding belongs a sort of instinctive belief in the absolute existence of nature. In their view, man and nature are indissolubly joined. Things are ultimates, and they never look beyond their sphere. The presence of reason mars this faith. The first effort of thought tends to relax this despotism of the senses which binds us to nature, as if we were a part of it, and shows us nature aloof, as if it were afloat. Until this higher agency intervened, The animal eye sees the wonderful accuracy, sharp outlines and colored surfaces. When the eye of reason opens, outline and surfaces are at once added grace and expression. These proceed from imagination and affection, and abate somewhat of the angular distinctness of objects. If the reason be simulated to more earnest vision, outlines and surfaces become transparent and are no longer seen. Causes and spirits are seen through them. The best moments in life are these delicious awakenings of highest powers, and reverential withdrawing of nature before its God. Let us proceed to indicate the effects of culture. And we're going to stop right there because I have these numbers here about culture, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them before we get to the next section, spirit. Have a great day.